Hello Aquarius, welcome to my channel and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I would also like to welcome Spirit into this reading and say thank you for the messages we are about to receive. This is a work and career reading for Aquarius from the 11th to the 24th of February 2019. Please don't forget to watch your moon and rising sign for a more complete picture. And if you like the decks I'm using, I've put them in the description box, so please have a look. And if you would like a personal reading, I've put my email and my website details in the description box, so please contact me. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments if these messages resonate with you. So I'm starting off with the general energy read, and then I will do the general tarot read for you afterwards. So, if you're deciding to do things, you need to consider and explore all possible options available for you. You're feeling very frustrated at the moment. You're feeling very stuck. And you want to change. So look around and look at all the options available to you. There might be some unforeseen expenses coming your way as well. So watch out. Just make sure that you're looking after your finances quite carefully. So in the past, you've got new insights and clarity coming into you. And you've got overstretched resources. So you've been spending a little too much. And it's time for you to, pull it in a bit and tighten your belt. So watch those pennies because it looks like you're having a little bit of financial problems because of overspending. And if there's unforeseen expenses coming up over here, make sure that you are monitoring your finances very carefully. So you need to tread very carefully as well in whatever situation you're dealing with at the moment. And you are feeling a little bit isolated and unsupported in the work that you're doing right now. You should actually look around for people that are there and can support you because there will be people like that around. Okay, so those are the energies for those 2 weeks. So I'm going to be using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot for the main read. I have shuffled. Let's go. Okay, you've got the Four of Swords over here, and, this is feeling as though, everybody's against you, really. You can see this man's lying in the snow here in a very vulnerable position. His shoe is off there, and he's surrounded by wolves. And maybe this is how you're feeling. Everybody's got, something to say. People are not really there to support you, and you're feeling very lonely, very isolated. And even the previous energy read did say that you're feeling lonely and isolated. So you might be feeling as though, you're being pressurized by a lot of people, and they want you to do, everybody wants you to do something different, and, they're not giving you that support, and they're not telling you how to get about doing it, but they expect certain things of you, and, when you're not doing it, or you don't do it the way they want it, then there's a lot of nasty words that are being spoken, or they say things that are, extremely nasty. Maybe they're sending you email messages, or, some kind of message to put you in your place. So you're feeling very vulnerable, you're feeling very, very isolated, very, very unsupported, you can see. And it doesn't feel as though, it feels as though you're not getting things done the way you want them to be done. And nobody's telling you how to go about doing it. Nobody's showing you how to do it as well. But they are expecting things. So there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of demand. There's a lot of stress. Like I said, there's a lot of messages coming in. You've got all these swords with ribbons on them. So, this is almost like little mini flags where they're telling you, things that are pretty nasty. Maybe you're getting a lot of nasty emails from these people telling you what to do. So that's the energies going on around you. Or that energies of the spread itself. So you've got the Eight of Pentacles over here, and you've been working very, very hard. You can see this man's working in the rain trying to build this particular shrine, I think it is, and he's accumulating money, but it's taking a lot of hard work. So it's almost like blood, sweat, and tears. So you are working very, very hard. It is a job where you are learning on the job, almost apprentice like learning on the job with this Eight of Pentacles. But you're having to really slog for your money. You're having to work very, very hard. This man's doing very physical labor in the rain. And, maybe you're very upset. Maybe it makes you very emotional, whatever happens, whatever people say, because it seems like people do say a lot of things that are pretty nasty to you. It makes you cry. So it seems, or you're very emotional about it. You're very upset about it. There's a lot of puddles of water over here. So it looks like, whatever they're saying, you're very upset by what they're saying, even though you're putting in so much of work. Maybe they're very critical of you. So it's like, I can't do anything right, kind of way. That's how they're treating you. So it seems like because you're in this job, you have a lot of people criticizing you. You're having to defend yourself all the time with this Nine of Wands over here. So every single move you make, you're having to stand up and defend why you did it. So it looks like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of projects around you, people making a lot of demands, and you're having to stand up for yourself for every step of the way. So it seems like it's a upward battle, even though you're working so hard in this particular job. So what's happened in the past? You've got the Knight of Pentacles over here. So this is somebody working extremely hard. The Knight of Pentacles is always the slow-moving knight, having to do a lot of work for very little pay. And it seems like that's where you are. There might be a lot of communication. You might be doing some travel, but not a lot of travel. You might be very grounded. The Knight of Pentacles, is an earth sign, and they don't do that much of travel anyway. And you're very focused on this particular work as well. And you're trying very hard to accumulate money. You've got this really big squirrel over here, and they tend to accumulate wealth. Nuts. So you are learning a lot. You're taking a lot of information. So this particular post seems to be almost like a learning post, like an apprenticeship post where you're learning a lot of things. You're learning how to maybe manage money as well, but you're also getting a lot of information. So, you're still climbing that ladder, and you're taking in a lot of information, and you're working very, very hard at it. And you can see that you're working extremely hard because you've got this Eight of Pentacles over here showing how hard you are working to try and lay solid foundations for yourself. Now, in the past 3 months, it looks like the Eight of Wands has come in. There's been some movement that's been happening. Maybe you did some travel, but a lot of information coming to you, or maybe, you had to communicate with a lot of people. Maybe there were a lot of projects that you were managing, multitasking, getting involved in a lot of different ventures or different enterprises. But something where a lot of your energy has been used, and you've been very, very, very busy recently. There's a lot of communication coming. You see this bird in here. So maybe you've been working a lot on the internet or speaking and networking with a lot of people. But there's something where there's been definitely a lot of communication with a lot of people, various people. Now you've got the Three of Wands over here, so you have something that you want to put out. So maybe you've been working on something. Maybe with this Eight of Wands, you're working on a project with a group of people, and now you're coming to a closure or coming to the end of that project, and you want to present it or put it out into the world. And this is, it's worrying you. You want it to be a success. So something, maybe you've been working with 2 other people on this particular project, and now you want to launch it out. So that's worrying you as well. Now you've got the Five of Wands. So maybe the group of people that you're working with are not really getting along too well. It seems like everybody has their own opinion. Everybody wants to be in charge, and nobody seems to know what they're doing with this Five of Wands over here. Now they're all blind here and then trying to hit a hornet's nest. So and nobody's listening to you. You're the only one who can actually see, because you can see this person's got no blindfold, and yet the rest of them are fighting underneath the hornet's nest. So it seems like, everybody wants to take control. Everybody wants to take charge. Nobody's listening to what you've got to say. Even though you have a good insight or you can see exactly what's going on, nobody is taking your leadership or listening to it. And it looks like it might end up in a disaster because, they're fighting with sticks underneath this hornet's nest. And, it's going to stir up a lot of problems. So that is something to watch out for. This is, people trying to be leaders, and really nobody is coming out as a true leader, and nobody's listening to you. They seem to have ignored you or ignored whatever you've got to say. So nobody's taking any of your advice. Now you are coming across as the King of Wands, who is somebody who's very much in control, who knows what they're doing, who knows how to handle authority or power. You are comfortable giving instructions, you are comfortable taking the lead role, and you're a very dynamic person as well. And you have a lot of energy, and you're a very hands-on person. With the King of Wands, probably very, you have a good head for business, you have a good head for management. With this King of Wands. And if you say you want to do something, you get the job done with this King of Wands. A very fiery sign, but also very, very, somebody who I wouldn't say aggressive, but somebody who gets things done. If a job needs to be done, you know what to do to get it done and get it sorted out. So you have very good leadership potential there, or leadership skills, shall I say. So what's coming for you? You've got the Wheel of Fortune coming. There's a big change coming along as well. Usually the Wheel of Fortune is something very positive coming in, so some kind of shift of energy. So where you've been working really, really hard, putting in a lot of effort, it looks like things are going to start moving on for you. And even with this this Eight of Wands card over here, it looks like a change is coming, but with this Wheel of Fortune, it looks like big changes are now starting to happen. So even though if you're feeling frustrated or feeling stuck, it seems like things are going to start moving. So what you're worried about is, it seems like, you're trying to launch some kind of project, but you're worried that everything is going to go horribly wrong with this tower, that it might not work out, that, whatever you've done is not going to be good enough. So this is what you're worried about, that things will not work out the way you want, and, you get people turning against you, or, people criticizing it, or it's just, that it would all collapse. You're worried that whatever project you're going to do is not going to be very successful. So this is a fear, and this is working on your mind. Now going into the future, you've got the Four of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. So the Four of Wands is, collaborating with a lot of people. It's, having a very stable structure as well, that you're building on stable foundations. But generally it's a card about meeting a lot of people, so you're getting into a phase where you're going to be doing a lot of collaboration. Now with the Three of Wands, it's also talking about collaborating with people, and generally from overseas. And it looks like the Four of Wands is coming up in the future. This is what you want to do, and it looks like that's going to be very successful. So whatever you've decided, whatever project or whatever thing you are putting out there, or trying to collaborate with a lot of people or network with a lot of people, whatever project you're launching out is going to end up very, very successful, because the Four of Wands is also a celebration card. It's about achievement and stability, and getting it's a wedding card. Sometimes they see it as a celebration, or receiving good news or being successful at something. So whatever project you have been doing and you're putting it out there with the Three of Wands that you've been worried about is going to be coming back successfully as the Four of Wands. And that's going to give you maybe a promotion. You've got the Queen of Wands over here. So this is, somebody who is very much in charge, and who knows what they're doing, and maybe you get into a position where you're going to be able to manage things or manage people quite successfully. Now the Queen of Wands, she's a very political person, so she is able to be very diplomatic, speak to a lot of people, and she's also somebody that handles like resources, or she's able to she's a very practical person as well, so somebody that's in charge, but also being able to handle communication between people. So she's, the queens are usually for the daily runnings of the castles in the tarot. So, she's able to manage things at that level. Whereas, the kings are usually like almost like international people, so they manage the bigger things. This is big leadership, whereas this is like leadership over groups of people. Maybe you are being now given much more authority in your particular job, and you're also very, very hands-on, very communicative, and people see you as very attractive in the sense that you have that personality that gets things done, and you're very, very charming as well. So that's how you're coming across. This could also be working with somebody, you could well be working with somebody who is a fire sign person, who could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, and this person might be coming in. This might be, in the Four of Wands, when you're collaborating or networking with people, this woman might be very, very significant, or this energy might be very significant for you. Now, still watch out for people, that are not really working in your best interest. You've got the Seven of Swords over here. There might be a little bit of deception going on around you, a little bit of backstabbing going on around you. You need to turn your back on it and walk away from it. Don't engage in them. It doesn't seem like it's going to be worth your while. So something is being hidden. There are some secrets being kept over there. Not all facts are being revealed. Make sure you're doing some proper research before you do anything or make any big decisions. And if anybody's giving you any kind of grief, it's best to just, up and walk away from that situation, because it doesn't look like, like with the Five of Swords, there are no victors, and if you stick around with these people, they end up hitting the hornet's nest and causing a lot of problems. So if this is still going on around you here, it's best to actually just walk away from that kind of situation and not get involved, because it might end up escalating to something worse. So if there's any problems going around, best to walk away from it rather than engage in it and then get caught up in the whole scenario where everything goes horribly wrong, or that it escalates to something worse. So it looks like whatever you're putting out is going to be successful, and maybe you are going to get promoted to some kind of leadership position. And maybe if you do get that kind of more responsibilities, people are not going to be very happy about it with the Seven of Swords, and there might be a lot of deception or backbiting or gossip or nastiness coming out from it. So best to walk away from that kind of situation. Don't give them any ear, or don't give them any airtime, so to say. So I'm going to just draw some cards from the Think and Grow Rich tarot, and this is prosperity cards, and just gives you some a little bit of insight, or maybe a little bit of enlightenment about what to do. So let's see. The first card is Powerful and Mighty, and it says powerful and mighty is the human mind. It builds and destroys. So what you think really is how you will portray yourself. And if you portray yourself as somebody who has leadership skills and as a leader, that is how you will come across, as being powerful and mighty. So you have to think it in order for you to manifest it. And you have to remain calm in difficult situations. So if you're going through this scenario where you have this Five of Wands, remain calm, count to 10. Don't let anybody, ruffle your feathers. And the last one is take courage, and that is a very important thing. So make sure you are acting very bravely in whatever you do. Be bold in every kind of move. So the first card on the Fairy Tarot is being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity, taking something or someone for granted, discontentment in life. So it looks like there might be some kind of offer coming in for you. Make sure that you are watching out for any offers that come in, and don't disregard even the smallest thing that comes in. You've got the Seven of Spring over here. Be assertive. Don't back down from what you believe, and courageously stand up for yourself. So the Take Courage card is telling you that you have been disappointed, you have undergone defeat, you have felt the great heart within you crushed until it bled. Take courage, for these experiences have tempered the spiritual metal of which you are made, and they are assets of incomparable value. So whatever problems you went through, it has given you the ability to be very brave and very courageous. And the Seven of Spring is telling you have to be courageous in this particular situation, and you must be assertive and show that you are, as the first card said, you are powerful and mighty. So the last card is the Ten of Summer, which says emotionally fulfilling life and people you can trust. So you are working with a group of people that you will be, or you are working with people that you can trust. And with the Ten of Summer, it's achievement. It's like the Ten of Pentacles, so it's getting that job that you want. It is achieving that goal that you want. So you are heading for that, and you are working with good people. There are some people, there's always going to be one or two people that you can never get along with, but there are, for the most part, everybody is quite supportive as well. And if there's any kind of arguments, it's best to stay out of it, because they really don't know what they're going on about, and it's going to get them in trouble, and you don't want to be part of that group that gets into trouble, or where things go wrong because of people not listening to people. So I hope that this reading has resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments if it has. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.